Hey guys, today I'm here to do a video on how to cover your paperback books. And the reason I decided to do this video is because for a while I was really upset with how bad my books would get. Okay, I'll take this one for example. I mean, it was just they'd get ripped and torn and bumped and banged, and I keep them in my purse a lot. Even if I keep usually a little book bag, or not a book bag, but those large pencil bags, and they fit my books usually perfectly. And if I can't find one or another bag big enough for my bigger books, it kind of sucks because I don't like them to get messed up or the edges start getting all funky and worn. So finally, I had been looking for a way to cover my books for a while to keep them protected, and I couldn't find any sort of material that really worked. And I had found something else, but it didn't work as well as I liked. So I found some adhesive laminating sheets at Office Depot. These are letter size sheets. It was about $10 for 10 of them. I didn't buy that many. Let's see. Is this 10? Yeah. It's a pack of 10. And I didn't buy, they had a pack of 50 for $25, or the pack of 10 for $9, which doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, so I was going to buy the bigger pack, but then I started thinking, what if I don't like them? I'll buy the 10, and then if I like them, then I'll go back and buy the 50 because I really have a lot of paperbacks. So this is a perfect way to cover them, and I'll show you how to do it. And this is a book I've already practiced on and covered. This was my, sorry, that one has a, they came out perfect, and this is my first Undead and Unwed book. My best friend gave it to me, and I wanted to preserve it, and it came out. I don't know if you can tell. It's a glossy cover, and they're permanent. So once you put this cover on, it will not come off. So you have to be very careful on how you put it on. And it's not really hard. All you're going to need is a package. I think I just moved the camera. Oh well. A package of these, a pair of scissors, and a book that needs covering. So these are all of my books that I'm going to be covering. I'm not going to cover them all today. I'm just going to show you how to cover one. But this is 9 books. It'll cover all of these plus one more. And I think it's perfect. And since there's probably bigger sheets out there, I haven't really looked. So I'm going to go look to see if there's bigger sheets for my bigger books. But if not, I have a feeling if you put 2 together and cover half of one, half of the other, you'll still be able to cover your books. Or even when you buy hardcovers and the little, I can't really what it's called, little jacket around the hardcover book. If you want to cover that, I'm pretty sure you can use these too. I'm going to try that out on another book I have, so we'll see how that works out. Let me move these out of the way. And I'm going to start covering this book. And I'm so totally loving this. It's really a genius idea. I know it sounds like I'm giving myself credit, but I don't know why I hadn't thought of these laminating sheets. Because I was like, man, I wish I could laminate my books. Duh. Laminating sheets. And all you're going to do is pull out one sheet that looks like this, the clear side, and the paper you peel off. And when you're peeling it off, let me move my book. When you're peeling off this white paper, keep it for yourself. This is what I did just to kind of measure, because I already knew about where the middle is, but just to be sure, I grabbed it and I pulled it, and I kind of just I measured up on the end and kind of bent the end to kind of give me an idea. And when I moved it out a little bit, I just kind of kept bending the end, just not enough to crease it, but enough to at least have a basic idea of where my book's going to go. See, exactly, right down the middle. And this is GBC, right down the middle. That's where you're going to place your book. And secondly, it's all eyeball. Some people are probably going to be a bit more, oh, I want to measure it perfectly. Go ahead, that's perfectly fine. I just like to kind of eyeball it, because, let's see. And I'm going to measure about the same size on each side. Perfect. And what you're going to do is take off. I really hope I get this off quickly. It took me forever to get my nail in between the sheet. Oh my god, I got it on like the second try. Okay, this is what you're going to do. You're going to peel it off. And before I forget, make sure you have a very clean work area. You don't want it to be dirty, so that stuff ends up sticking to the book. What's worse, if you finally finish covering it, you're so excited, and there's like a hair or like random crumbs or something, it'd be really gross. So you're going to take your sheet, this sheet, and I like to place it right above it or right below it so I can see where the area where the middle area is. So right here is the middle area, and on this side, let's see, I'm going to place it about right here. And I'm just going to kind of push it. I know I moved the camera on that one. I'm going to pick it up like this, and I'm going to kind of smooth it out. Be careful, this, like that. You're just going to smooth up the spine of the book. Making sure all, pull this back, and you're going to, let me pull this out, you're just going to start kind of gently pressing it. You could probably lay it down and press it, but I like to pick it up so it doesn't end up touching anything. If you can pull it, if you see a little mistake, be gentle in pulling it back, but if there isn't any, just keep pressing. Most of the time, like on this one I did, if you pull it back, if the book's really old, a little bit of the paint will come off, but very little. Like, you can't even tell where I pulled it off on the book that I did over here on my Undead and Unwed book. You can't really tell. But you just have to be very careful, very gentle, and don't start rubbing it in until you know it's perfectly placed. Same thing on this side. You're just gonna, I don't know where that fuzz came from, and you're just gonna gently start rubbing it on to stay. And once it's on, I am totally moving the camera. I am so sorry. I'm just going to keep rubbing it. Like, if you had one of those like, little squeegee things, I don't know what it's called. I call it a squeegee majig. But they're like, to kind of like press, and I guess you could use something like this too, just to kind of work it and make sure it really kind of stays. I was using my fingers yesterday. But anything will work. Anything you can to kind of really smooth out the books, to have no bubbles. Oh my god, I actually got a bubble. Oh, and if, like I said, as long as you're careful, you can unstick it. There we go. So that's the first step, just like that. And next, this is when you're going to need your scissors. You're going to start cutting. And you're not going to cut like this, like to make like a square to come off. You're going to cut it kind of at an angle so that it won't leave these weird funky corners. And you're going to cut it at an angle to the point right here. Does that make any sense? I hope that does. At an angle to the point. And you're just going to snip like that. It's kind of hard to do it with my right hand. And then you're going to do it, okay, I'm going to lay it down for this side. But I don't know if you can see it, but I'm doing it at an angle. Like that. And it's going to look like a little triangle came off. And I just keep that little, like I said, that plastic, that paper in front of me is perfect. I just kind of lay it down out of my way and move on to the next side. And again, at an angle, you're just going to and then on this side, same thing. And there we go. And you'll lift the front flap cover, and you're just going to press it all the way and kind of keep gently bringing it as close to to cover it, so you don't have any little pieces hanging. You want it as close to the edge as possible. You don't want any little hanging off or anything. And it's not that hard. And then you're going to have a little bit lifted up, and you're just going to press down like so. And there is the first part. Now, it can get a little tricky, I guess, on the side here, but to the corner again, you're gonna do it, and you're gonna do it on this side as well. And again, you'll just bend over the edge. I hope I didn't move the camera. I'm trying not to move the camera because every time I bump the table, I sit there and I bump the camera, which kind of sucks, but I'm doing my best, I promise. And you're going to do the same thing to this side. We're pretty much just repeating the steps. And like this one had a little bit of a peak that was hanging off, so I'm just going to cut that off. And there is the front cover done. So we're going to switch to the back. And like right here, these little pieces hanging out, you can just snip those out of the way so you can do, well, you could snip those out of the way, but they're going to stick to you. So you're going to do this so you can do the back. Now, same thing, you're just going to do the angle cut to the corner. Angle cut. I'll lay it down. I'm feeling I have a good idea of how you're going to do the angle cut already. And you'll lay that piece down. My scissors keep getting stuck. There we go. And there we go. Now lift, press over, and there you go. And now same thing right here at the angle, just like that, and the same thing and you're just going to bend it over the edge. And there we go. So now the whole book is covered. You just have these little ends to trim. You're not going to fold them over or anything. You're just going to get us very close. Make sure you don't have too much sticky gunk on your scissors. Holy cow, I am so sorry. I'm like the worst, and I'm very clumsy, and this is not a good idea, keeping the camera on the same table that I'm playing on. This. Okay. It's easier, cut the strips off first so that you can get really close. And at this point, oops, just kind of rub it as close as you can to the edge so that you can have what you really need to get cut off. Just like that. And you're just going to cut the edge, the little bit that's sticking out. holy cow, that hurt. And I'm bleeding. Perfect. That's just great. Okay, like I said, don't rub your finger on a sharp object. It'll lead in a cut. Okay, so I'm bleeding. I'm gonna have to go get a Band-Aid. And luckily I'm at the end. So this is what it looks like completely done. The inside, you can see where it's folded in. There you go. This is where it's folded in, and it's, like I said, it's permanent. So once you put it on, it's not coming off, and it really does protect your book. So check it out. I don't know if you can see how I folded it in. The top is very close to the edge, hence my cut. It's very close to the edge, just like that. See? So I really think this is a great idea if you carry your books with you a lot, paperbacks, or if you just want to protect your books. I will mention that if you cover them like this, and since you can't take it off, and you're going to plan on selling them or trying to get like some sort of, I can't even think of the word I'm looking for, but like keep them like to get a lot of money for them being brand new and all that good stuff. This will, diminish the value because, you're covering them. But I really like that because I don't plan on selling my books. I love them. I read them. And the reason I have my stack of undead books here is because I read those all the time. Like, this is like my 4th time reading them. I read them, or maybe 5th. I don't know. I read them all the time. And so I like to carry them in my purse. And this is my perfect way of keeping them. Holy cow, that really hurts. Okay, I'm going to have to go get a Band-Aid. Ouch. Anyways. So like I said, this is perfect. I encourage everybody to cover their books if you want to keep them in your purse and protected. And $10. And now if you think you trust me, I would say the better deal if you have a lot of books to buy the 50 pack, because it's $25 or $23 or somewhere in there, and it's like 50 cents a book then. So I think it's perfect. So like I said, hope this was helpful, and I'll talk to y'all later after I get a Band-Aid. Bye!